Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. In this video, I will be recording content regarding how to connect a Python application to database, specifically MySQL database. You know that this is where I have opened as a Jupyter notebooks and I want to write my Python code here. So this is my Python application and I want to connect this to MySQL database. Let me show what MySQL or how I'm using MySQL database. I'm using XAMPP server, so let me open the XAMPP server here. So since I'm using the MySQL, which is inside XAMPP server, so I will start Apache and then I will start MySQL. Since I want to connect the Python application with this MySQL database, so that's why I want to start the database and I want to open the MySQL database. So now PHP which is the page for MySQL database, it will open and we will discuss about how to connect a Python application to database, specifically MySQL database. So until it is getting loaded, let's go to the real content. So we will discuss the following topics. First, we will discuss if you want to uh, connect a Python application to MySQL database, what we will require. The first thing that we will require to download or we will require to install Python connector library. So this connector library will help us in connecting this Python application to MySQL database. The second thing, since once it's installed, we will import some modules which will help us in this connection. So now you will see this is my database, or this is my MySQL database. So this is the database that I already have. So I will connect this Python application to this database. The second, third thing, I need to establish a connection. The fourth thing, I need to create a cursor. Then we will execute some queries. So let's go for the first step, which is nothing but installing MySQL connector. So for this one, I will just write the command pip install, then MySQL connector Python. So I want to install MySQL connector for Python. It may take some time, so let's wait until this is going to be uh, installed completely. For some of you, if this is not going to work, then here you can write pip3. If it is still not working, you can write this exclamation mark here. So for me, let's see if it is working. It's okay. If it's not working, I will again check with the pip3 if it is working or not working. So after that, this it may take some time. So after that it gets time and it got installed, we will go for the second step, which is nothing but importing the necessary modules. See, for me it is saying that requirement already satisfied, since already I have installed this module package. Next one, we will go for importing some necessary modules. Since we have installed MySQL connector, for inside MySQL connector, there are some modules which is required for us in connecting. So that's why I just want to import them. I will say from mysql.connector. So I need just two importing modules. One, I need connect function, connect, and then I need another which will help me in handling the error, which is nothing but error. So that's the second step, which we will import this two module. So next one is establishing connection. See, now I want to establish the real connection between my Python application, which is this one, and a database. For this one, I will take help of a function called connect. There is a function called connect, and I will put the name of this connection as a com. So how can I? This function is called connect, and this function needs actually four inputs or four arguments. The first one is nothing but it will ask for the host. Who is the host? So I will say I'm using only localhost, since I'm not using online database. The second one is the user. My database user is root, so that's why I will put it root. The third argument that it needs is database. What is, sorry, we'll work with this. The third is nothing but password. I will say my database doesn't have any password. So only this three is required for me to put in order to make a connection. So if I run this one, if I got no error, it means that my Python application has got a connection with the database. So that is it. Now I didn't get any error and my code ran. So that's why my connection is established. Now, if I want to run or execute some command, for example, I want to tell the database, so now connection is established. So now I can talk to the database. So if I want to execute a command, the cursor object will be responsible for executing the command. I cannot execute the command just like if a connection is established. Now there is a connection, but I will use this connection so that I can execute my commands. For that, I need a cursor object. I need to create a cursor object. So how I will create a cursor object? I will just write my cursor is equal to, I will use this connection and then I will create a cursor. That's it. So now if I run it, my cursor object will be created and I can execute later on any command using this cursor object. So that's it. Now my cursor object is created. Now I can execute. So the first command that I will be executing will be, I will just ask how many database you have or show me all the databases. Now how to tell? You know that when I'm going to talk with the database, I have connected, I have established the connection, and then I have created a cursor to execute my commands. Now I want to talk to the database. How can I talk to the database? I need to talk to the database with the language of database. So you know that the language of database is not English. It is SQL. So that's why whenever I'm writing any query, my query must be in SQL language. For example, I will say show databases. Show me all the databases. So this is my query. I want my cursor to execute this query. How I will do? I will say, I will ask my cursor dot execute, my cursor dot execute, and then I will give my query. So after I run this query, this my cursor will get all the databases and I can check all the databases. See, I run it. Now, how to check whether all the databases are there or not? Since there is more than one database, I need to use for loop. So that's why I will say for db inside my cursor, because my cursor is responsible for getting all the databases or responsible for executing, and then I will print all the database. I will say print db. So just I will run. See, these are all the live the databases that I have inside my MySQL database. So now we are getting that actually the database is connected, and this my cursor executed our first command, which was nothing but show databases. Now let us consider, or let us run our or create our own database. For example, in executing the command, we will create our own database. So first, the first thing that we need to say, we need to QUE make our query. How can create a database? We will create a database using this one, create database. We will put the name of database as a university, or we will say yeah, that's it, university, or we will say governmental university. So we will say public university. That's it. This is our command. Who is responsible for running our command? My cursor. I will say my cursor dot, this is responsible to execute my command, which is nothing but query. Once it's running, see, it got one. Now we will go inside my MySQL whether this database is created or not. See, we will check. We will refresh this one. So it may take some time, and we will go here whether public university is created or not. Yeah, see, there is a database called public university. Or we have another way also to check. We will run this command again. We will run this command and this command again. We will check show all of our databases here, and then we will see to print all the databases. So here, after showing all the databases, I want just to print all the databases. See, now if I run it again, see, previously here there was no public university database. Now since I have created this one, here it will show public university. So this is the database that just now I created. The next topic is handling errors. We know that since we are using exception handling, once we are studying exception handling, at that time we have studied that if whenever we are going to connect the database, we have to do exception handling, since there is a possibility for our database, so that our database maybe, or there is a possibility to be off, or MySQL server to be off. So let's check this one. I will do the connection once again, and first, so that we come to know what do you mean by handling errors. You will come here. I will copy it, and I will make my XAMPP server off. See, I will say stop. I will say MySQL to be stopped, and I will say Apache to be stopped. See here, I will run this connection again. If I run it, let's see, it may take some time in order to check for MySQL. Since our MySQL is off, so surely it will give MySQL interface error. See, this is a big error. We have to handle this one. How can we handle this one? Using try and catch block, or using try and except block in Python. So we will use try, and then we will write our connection here, and then we will write except error. This is the type of error that will happen. We will say except error as a E, and then we will print this error. So here I will say print, only print the E. Now if I run it again, and instead of giving this much error, it will handle the exception. It will just give can't connect to MySQL server. So that's only the message that it's giving. It will run any other code which is after this one. Now again, I will start this one, and we will check again. And now if I run it, it will not give any error. See, it's just established the connection. And the last one is nothing but closing the connection. Once we have done with everything, we have to close our connection. So this will be the last step that we'll be doing. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like and subscribe the channel.